Garbaj here. Right now, you are looking at a real-life aimbot, and it's about to change gaming forever, but we'll talk more about that in just a second. First, I have a question for you. Why are there still so many aimbot cheaters in first-person shooters despite all the advancements we've had in anti-cheat technology? Well, ultimately, it comes down to the problem of recognizing the difference between a cheater and someone who is just really good at aiming. You might think, well, we know that humans are imperfect and make tiny mistakes when playing, and so if we analyze a player's inputs and find that they're too perfect to be real, that player must be cheating, right? Well, maybe. But not only are there some really mechanically gifted gamers out there who blur the line between man and machine, it's also very easy to tune an aimbot to be slightly less than perfect in order to bypass these simplistic anti-cheat measures while still giving the player an unfair advantage. And so currently, the way anti-cheats work is less about analyzing player inputs and more about checking for suspicious software activity that's happening while playing the game. The overly simplified explanation of how aimbots work is that they pull data such as the location of the enemy's head from your system's memory while the game is running, and using it to point your crosshair at specific locations. On the anti-cheat side, modern anti-cheats will do all sorts of things like monitor your memory, scan your computer files, and more to try to detect any suspicious activity on your device and ban you. And over the years, both cheats and anti-cheats have been locked in an endless arms race, employing more and more sophisticated methods to outsmart the other. But it seems like the cheaters may ultimately win because now there's a new one.
It's always gonna be like that. That's just kind of how it works. It's kind of like I don't know. That's always how. Same with like hackers versus Microsoft or something. You're always having to patch the new exploits, and the hackers are always finding new exploits. React to new Linklight stream. Oh, for sure, bro. How you doing, King Roby?
100% undetectable type of aimbot that is starting to emerge thanks to the power of machine learning AI. The way this new aimbot works requires two separate computers. First, you have the computer that runs the game, and this is a completely clean system with a legitimate copy of the game installed. However, while running the game, this computer is sending a live recording of the gameplay via a capture card over to a second computer, which uses AI to analyze the gameplay footage frame by frame, determining which pixels on the screen are enemies, similar to how self-driving works in Tesla cars. It then calculates a series of inputs based on the footage needed to move the crosshair onto the enemy's head, and then sends those inputs back to the gaming computer using a device that can spoof controller or mouse inputs, which results in an aimbot that doesn't need to pull any information out of memory or interact with the game files in any way, shape, or form. This is a virtually...
What? Why do people try so hard to cheat? Is that worth it? You gotta literally have an AI bot farm to do it. Two computers to cheat in a video game. What's the point? At that point, just go do something, like outside or something. I don't know. Bruh. I am so confused. That is way too much effort.
Out of memory or interact with the game files in any way, shape, or form. This is a virtually undetectable cheat because all the cheating software runs on a separate computer from the one running the game. And so from the anti-cheat's perspective, it just looks like a human player with really good aim playing on a completely clean system. Now, theoretically, the anti-cheat could ban anyone using a video capture card despite there being many legitimate reasons for having one. But even then, it wouldn't stop this type of cheating for long, because eventually, this machine learning AI will become so advanced, even blurry footage from a webcam physically pointed at the screen will be enough to make the cheat work without the need for a capture card, which finally brings us back to this thing. This is a robot made by an individual called Kamal Carter, and it is a robot that can move a mouse. What makes it special is that it's being controlled by AI analyzing live video footage of gameplay, very similar to what powers the undetectable aimbot cheats. Except it doesn't need to send inputs through a spoofer, it just physically moves the mouse itself. It is quite literally an aimbot in the truest sense, and it's already doing some crazy stuff. Now imagine if this literal aimbot were able to operate, again, using a webcam pointed at the screen instead of a video capture card. That would mean it could operate without any physical connection to the computer running the game. No capture card, no mouse spoofer, nothing. And if this becomes a reality, it would be game over for anti-cheat as we know it, because there would be no reasonable way to counter it that doesn't involve installing surveillance cameras in every gamer's home. It would be impossible for a software anti-cheat to find proof of any cheating existing at all, because it's happening on a completely separate and disconnected computer. And while this is bad for the competitive future of gaming, it is seriously fascinating from a technical standpoint, and it raises a lot of philosophical questions about gaming and AI and even existence itself, but we can save that discussion for another video. What I want to know is, what do you think about this? Do you really think undetectable cheats will change gaming forever, or do you believe anti-cheats will come up with a way to fight it? And if so, what ways might there be to detect it? Let me know in the comments down below. Hope you learned something today. Like, subscribe, and bell. Link to Kamal Carter's channel and everything else down.
I am like speechless. That's insane. What do you do? That's crazy, bro. Yeah, cheating is gonna get to a whole new level. Aimbots are next level. What's up, Eric? It's good to see you again, man. So far, working on 160p. Don't want to try 360p. Playing BO1, so much fun. Sounds like fun, Mr. Josh. All right, well, make everything out of the same stuff so that enemies and backgrounds are blended, maybe. IDK. Well, then, like, the game wouldn't be like it wouldn't be playable by a human. It would be too hard to see. The only way that can be beaten is prevent people from playing a game if they don't stream it on Twitch, YouTube, or other services recommended by the game. Well, the problem is, remember, they said the webcam. Once the webcam becomes a thing, then it doesn't even matter. No physical connection. That's crazy. Console gaming. Well, here's the thing. If the guy can make a bot that moves a mouse, what's stopping a guy from making a bot that moves a joystick? You know what I mean? I think at the end of the day, it's the same thing. That is crazy. Seems like Valve is actually already aware of this becoming a problem, hence why they're going the way of implementing anti-cheat that works on the server side that actually analyzes human behavior, calling it VACnet. It's also using AI to analyze the player movements, which creates its own arm race in terms of anti-cheat development. Yeah, I think the only way to win this is to use AI in the opposite way. Use AI to analyze all human behavior and learn exactly how humans behave, and then take that information and match it against the aimbot information. And while, yes, he did describe that you can use an aimbot to create small errors and stuff, but no matter how you do it, there's two things that you can never fully fake. Fun thing, humans are actually really bad at being random. Most tax fraud is detected by people making up numbers because humans are really bad at coming up with random numbers. So humans are bad at being machines, and machines are bad at being human. At the end of the day, a machine can pretend to be like a human, but there will always be some sort of repeat or looping mechanic to it that a human would never do. So it's interesting. It's super interesting. I don't know how to describe it. That's actually crazy. Tell it to Karen from SpongeBob. Are you gonna see getting good players getting banned? Yeah, probably. What's up, Tayfun? How you doing today? Well, that was fun. I love stuff like this. This is crazy. That was actually kind of sick. All right, let's check something else out. Chat, any more gaming